Hello guys, welcome to Dexplorian. Myself Didi here again with a new poster illustration, and this time we will be using or creating a glitch effect to design our poster. For those who are new here in this channel, I make and help you learn designing in Photoshop, discuss various tools and tips and tricks regarding Photoshop, which can be very helpful to you especially when you are just starting out. So without any further ado, let's get started. Let's start by creating a new document and selecting our canvas size to poster A4 size. Click on the create, and now we will be working on the background layer first. So let's bring in the image. We have to rotate this, and now holding down the Alt or Option button on your keyboard, let's just resize it to our canvas. Now we'll be adding a solid adjustment layer. Select the color of your choice, and when you are done, press OK. Let's just bring the color adjustment layer beneath the image layer, and now we will be changing the blending mode of image layer. Just work around the different blending modes and see what difference it makes, and then you can select your own blending mode. For this poster, we'll be selecting hard light, and now we will be giving it making some adjustments to this image layer. For that, let's go to image, then come to adjustment, and firstly we will be doing with hue and saturation, and now play with these sliders. Let's bring the saturation down and change the color from here. With this slider we can make it dark or bright. Play around with these sliders and see what suits you best, and when you are satisfied, hit OK. Let's just make a duplicate copy of this. To do that, hold the Alt and Option button and just drag. It makes a duplicate copy. You can play with the opacity of that layer also. Once again, working with the hue and saturation layer of the duplicate image layer. Let's just link these two layers, and now if you can see, the light is coming from this direction, but I want the light should be coming from that direction. So what we'll do is we will flip it around. So for doing that, press Command T, go to Transform tool and right click on the image layer and flip horizontal. But now the light is coming from bottom, so we'll flip it vertical. Now it seems like the light is coming from the top. Now let's bring our another image layer which has a subject in it. And now what we'll do is we will just only work with the background removal process of the image layer, subject layer. So what we'll do is we will turn off the visibility of all the other layers and keep our subject layer. To do that, press and hold the Alt or Option key and click on the eyeball icon and just click. See how all the other layers visibility is turned off. Let's just work with this layer. I want my subject to look towards this side, so we'll again flip it. For doing that, press Command T to go to Transform tool and then flip horizontal. Now as usual, we'll be working with the background removal process. For doing that, select the quick selection tool, click on the select subject button. Let's let Adobe Sensei do its work, and later on we'll refine it. Let's zoom in and see. There will be some places where Adobe Sensei will miss. Don't worry about the hair part, we will be working on that on Select and Mask window. I think seems okay. Click on the Layer Mask button, and now we will click on Select and Mask. And if you find this, don't worry, go here and select Onion Skin, or overlay option you can select to see which other parts has not been selected or left out. Now we will take the Refine Edge brush tool and paint on the outer areas of the hair. I think it's okay. And now if you see, there are jagged lines along the border. These lines are not smooth, so we can smooth it out. For doing that, go here and from the drop down menu select black and white. Now come down to this slider feather and increase the feather a little bit. Don't go crazy with it, because otherwise we'll lose all the details of the mask like this, you see. So use it very sparingly, just a little bit. When you're just about to see the lines smooth enough, stop there. And next step is we will now increase the contrast a little bit. Now if you see, the lines are a little bit smoother than earlier. To see whether the mask is okay, or if there is some fringing, you can place it on black and see. And now our mask is ready. Now we will turn back on the visibility of all the other layers. For doing that, once again hold down the Alt or Option key on your keyboard and click on this eye icon. All our other layers visibility is turned on, and now we will be adding or giving some effects to our image or subject. Let's start by giving it a hue and saturation. Bring down the saturation because I want to make it black and white. If you can see, it is affecting the whole canvas. So what we're going to do is we will clip it to our subject layer. For clipping, hold down the Alt or Option key on your keyboard, and when the cursor turns to that, just click. We'll add another adjustment layer, that is levels, to adjust the brightness and contrast. Once again clip it, and now we'll bring this slider, brighten the bright areas or the highlights. This slider controls the shadows, so to darken it more, you can slide it. This is the mid-tone slider. So as per your need of the effect, you can play with it. I think this will be okay for now. Now let's just rename our image layer as subject, and let's just group all the other layers which we have created for the background. Hold down the Shift key to select all the layers and press Command G on the keyboard, group it, and now let's just rename it as background. You can also lock it so that we cannot move it accidentally. Now let's select all the other three layers of the image, that is the subject layer and the adjustment layers, by holding down the Shift key and right click on it to make it a smart object. And now we will be creating some duplicate image. To be precise, it will be 3 duplicate layers of our image layer. For doing that, hold down the Alt and Option key on your keyboard and just hold and drag like that to create 3 more layers. And now what we'll do is we will give each of these layers, apart from the original image layer, some effect. And now we will right click on the subject 1 copy layer to open the layer styles dialog box, and here but we will work with the channels over here. For the first layer, we will turn off the green and blue channel and only the red channel will be on. Press OK and rename it as subject red. Then for the second layer, duplicate layer, we will work with only the green channel. Rename it as subject green, and this time only the blue channel will be on. The name will be subject blue. Okay, now what we'll do is we will select subject red layer. On the keyboard we will press the arrow keys to move it to the right, and then the subject green layer to the left, and lastly the blue layer to the once again to the right. And now you can see, with a very simple trick, we have created a glitch effect. Now we will be selecting all the layers and then we will group it. This will be our subject glitch, and we'll make a copy of it by pressing Command J and turn off the visibility of one layer. It is for the backup purpose. In case we miss and selecting the duplicate layer, we will convert it into a smart object. Now we will be giving or refining this glitch effect a little bit more and taking it to the next level. For doing that, select the rectangular marquee tool and draw a rectangle like this. Press Command J on your keyboard and see a new layer has been created. Then press Command T and now you can move it a little bit to create this kind of an effect. We'll be making some more layers of this by repeating the same process. think this much will be okay. Now let's just select all these layers by holding down the shift key and make a group and rename it as glitch final. And now we will create a layer mask of the group, and selecting the brush tool, the brushes will be a bigger one, foreground color is black, the brush should be soft round brush and opacity 100, low 100. We'll just paint here. And next we'll be working with some text and try to create a beautiful effect with this. Let's go to text tool and click on the canvas, and now we will type whatever we want. I want only the letter D for now. Go back to move tool, and then we'll change the font size. And for this poster I will be selecting a different font, which is from. You can find it in Google Fonts. I will also leave the link in the description. Make it italics, go to move tool, and selecting this we will create a layer mask. I will go to the brush tool, make the brush a little bit bigger. Foreground color is already black, and we will just paint over it to give it a shadow like effect. Let's just turn on the visibility of the subject layer for the time being so that we can work without any distraction. Now we will be creating some duplicate layers of our text, and holding the shift key drag it down so that it remains in the same straight line. Then double click and edit it, and we will create few more layers in a similar way. Now our full word is complete. So what we're going to do is we will select all the layers by holding the shift key and group them together and rename it as dream. Now we'll turn back on the visibility of our subject layer and bring the subject layer on top of our text group. And now if we need, we'll resize or position it a little bit. Like if here you can see the dream is not very visible, so let's bring it a little more to the right. You can do this by pressing the arrow keys on your keyboard. Now we'll add another text layer. Let's type in our word. Go back to move tool, bring it to the position, and now we will rotate it 90 degrees by holding the shift key. Let's give it an effect, so double click on the layer to open the layer style dialog box, and now we will go to strokes, bring down the fill opacity to 0, and now go to strokes and change the stroke size. 29 is way bigger a value for this size of the text, so let's bring down, let's keep it at 8, press OK. Let's increase the space between the characters a little bit. Now let's select all these layers and center it as per our canvas. For doing that, hold down the shift key. I think you know by this time how to select all the layers, and you can just drag it and position it wherever you want. Now as you know, in every of my poster there is a message, so we will be adding the quotation. For that we have to make a paragraph. Before that we will be making a shape in this. For doing that, let's select our pen tool and make sure it is selected as shape, and you can change the fill color as per your need. Strokes colors to none. I'll be selecting. If you want strokes, you can go for any color. And now we will draw the shape. Now that our shape layer is complete, let's resize it a little bit. Now we will again change the blend mode of this shape layer. I think soft light will be okay. I'm still not satisfied, so let's create a duplicate of the layer, and now we'll add a levels adjustment layer and play with these sliders. Let's just firstly clip it to the shape layer, otherwise it will be affecting the whole of our canvas. Let's just make a group of it and then apply the levels adjustment layer. So for that we have to bring out the levels adjustment layer from the group, and then we will clip it again to the group, and now we'll adjust the sliders. Let's add another adjustment layer, which will be levels, sorry, not levels, which will be hue and saturation. Once again clip it, and now let's bring down the saturation like this. Let's see what other changes it creates. Let's play with the hue slider a bit. It's all about experimenting and learning, so you just go on, don't hesitate to experiment, change your sliders, see whatever the result you need, otherwise you won't be able to learn. So just go on experimenting. think this is okay. Let's adjust the levels a little bit. I think this is okay for the time being. Let's resize it a little bit more. Now we'll be adding a paragraph to write the quotation. So before that, let's bring in the guides. For bringing in the guides, you just hold on the ruler and just drag it on the canvas like this. And now we'll select the pen tool to make the path. We'll click on the intersections of the guides. You can also do it without guides if you want. Now click on the text tool inside the guides, just click. Now the paragraph is on. You can adjust as per your need. Now you can remove the guides, or otherwise you can also keep it also. I removed them because they create a distraction for me, and also we don't need them anymore. Now double click. Before that, if you want, you can change the fonts also. You can format in whatever way you like. You can increase the spacing, increase the font size. It will stay within this box, so don't worry and just go on playing till you achieve whatever you want. I will select the text layer and type in whatever you like. I will be adding the quotation. Now that we have added our text onto our shape layer, now I want to give it an effect which is, in terms of Photoshop, it is called knockout. It is basically means that the text layer, the color will not be shown, it will be showing the background, which is little bit look like perforated. For doing that, what we have to do is we have to select the text layer and double click to open the layer style button, and now here you will find the knockout option. Select shallow from here and fill opacity to 0 and press OK. Now you can see the canvas background is little bit showing, but we don't want that. We want only our background to show up. So what we will do is we will select the text layer and along with that the shape layer on which it is placed all together, and then group them. Now if you can see, it is showing our background, and now you can rename the group as message or quotation. And with this, we are done with today's poster illustration. I hope you will like the poster and the whole process of making it. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and please do not forget to subscribe the channel for more such videos. If you have anything to say, please leave your comments. We can also connect on Pinterest and Instagram. Links are in the description. I'll be back with a new poster very soon. Till then, goodbye, take care and keep creating.